What's up guys, this is Shantan and welcome to another episode of the Eheng podcast. From the last episode, right, today we will straight away dive into the website and to see how I usually conduct my research and how do I utilize whatever websites that's online. For example, mainly property portals, right, Microsoft Excel or Google Sheets if you like, and then Google Map as well as Google Satellite. So these are the main few websites that I usually go to. And let's deep dive into it now. First of all, let's go into Prop Social, right? And I will just log into Prop Social, and what I will do, I will straight away insert Bukit Jalil. So in Bukit Jalil, in this segment as well, you get to see what is around, the price and all. So let's say Park Sky 920, 1000 square feet, 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom, 2 bathroom, how many units available and things like that, right? So what I will do is I will put into a table like this, right? So whatever I see here, Residency Bintang, right? Then I will just key in Residency Bintang like that straight away, 3 bedrooms and etc. Okay, then I will also in the table, what I will do is I will put in the project, the size, if the number of bedrooms if you want to lah. So the price and price per square feet. So is it new or sub sales is also quite important in this particular case study lah. So the idea here, right, is to actually look into the overall location. Let's say in this example, what is the average price? So as we mentioned in our live sessions all the time, right, the Kailan theory. So what is the Kailan theory? If I were to tell you Kailan, the vegetable, right, the Kailan vegetable is 380 today per kg. If you normally shop, you will know whether is it expensive or is it cheap, right? But in my case, I have never shopped before Kailan, so I don't know whether is it expensive or cheap. So suddenly if I tell you today, hey, now the Kailan is only 350 leh, not 380 leh, 10% lower leh, you don't even know whether is it a deal or not. So now the idea is to get that rough estimation and that rough feel of pricing around Bukit Jalil. If you head back to the table, right, you will look and find some outliers. So you will see like price per square feet, right? So now generally, you will see that you have 800 per square feet, 700 per square feet, 200 over per square feet. So this is the outliers. Why? Right? And the most expensive one. So Green Avenue, Casa Green, Anjong Hijau, why is it so low? So you take the two lowest and you take at the highest. So you take the highest, why is it so high? Okay, so 900 over Park Sky is 900 over. Okay, so let's check out this. So what I'll do is I will go to, so I'll hit back to Google Map. Okay, so for Vista Commonwealth, I will see that in this situation, right, I will usually turn to Google Satellite instead of Google Maps because this actually allows me to have a better look. So like now, it's all completed and things like that. So this is IMU actually. So this is IMU and that's the Max Highway, that's the Kesas Highway, there's a Sri Petaling station here. Okay, then there's a new medical center here. So if you look into Vista Commonwealth, it's actually an old building. So old building, then the price seems to be like a older one. And if you continue to research, right, so you will find that this has been for the players back then during the 98 SEA Games in Malaysia. So it's a pretty long history for this development already. You zoom out from Bukit Jalil, right, you'll notice a lot of greens on this side, which is mainly consisting the golf course and the Bukit Jalil Recreational Park, as well as the Bukit Commonwealth Park. So some audience mentioned to me that it's not really that well maintained and things like that, right? But on the Google Map setting, it's pretty decent. So that's one side of Bukit Jalil. The other side, right, is actually this Bukit Oyuji side, which is under the same address of Bukit Jalil. So hereby you have the two main stations here, Awan Besar station as well as the Mohiba station. So these two train stations actually connects to all these mountains of high rises. So you've got the Casa Green, you have the Z Residence, you have the Kiara residence, you have Rains, you have a lot more things here. Okay, and not only that, so this is where all the affordable homes are, the more compliance housing is, right? And there's a lot of factories on this side lah. Focusing back, this is the development that I found and registered lah, like I mentioned in the earlier episode, right? So this is actually Tropica. So what I will do is I will register for the project itself, and I will get whatever information that they can send to me. So I'll check it out later lor. Okay, so why is this rather attractive, and what is in the same street? Okay, so we will check like, okay, this is Twin Arcs. Okay, this is Link 2. Then this is Skylux. And this is Anjong Hijau. Then after that you have, okay, this is a Sky Park already. Then this is Pavilion. And one more thing, when you look into the Google satellite view, you will observe things like this, which is the brown land. Brown land means development, and it seems to be good, but in the short term, of course, it's pain lah, where you have all the construction things that lah, right? So if we go back to the table again, we will look into data, right? So you'll see that, okay, so now if you ask me generally what's the average price per square feet in Bukit Jalil, it's actually 700. Because let's say I have a 900, which is Skylux, Park Sky, which is 840, which is right next to Pavilion Mall lah. Then if you look into Link 2, next to the Owls Cafe, and we have Twin Arcs, which is around 640, which is around 4 to 5 years already, the developments, right? And now for Tropica itself is actually 700 to 800 per square feet. So this is what I also mean, where you will need to know in an area, a macro view of Bukit Jalil. Okay, the median price per square feet is 700. You will have the Muhibah side, where it's Bukit OUG side. It's actually a slightly cheaper, 600 plus, 500 plus also you can get. You want to go Vista Commonwealth, way cheaper, 300 plus per square feet you can get. Then if you want to go to this park side, which is the Park Sky Pavilion side, right? It's generally 6 to 800 per square feet. So let's say if a new launch today, which is telling you that, hey, we are launching around 700. Hey, it's not bad. So it's the market rate. And then only we deep dive into the project itself. So in one project itself, let's say in one project itself, the lowest price per square feet and the highest price per square feet is actually different. And generally, the bigger the unit, the price per square feet will be way lower. And for the studio units, usually tend to have the highest price per square feet lah. This is for own stay. Then that's why I will consider more softer things like golf course lah, parks lah, schools lah, highways lah, which generally is almost the same direction as if you are going for an investment unit. But the only difference from an investment mindset and an own stay mindset in this research method, right, is actually to put in the rental returns. So let's say if you go back to that one particular project again, right, let's say the same project, the smaller size, maybe the 1 bedroom rental and the 3 bedroom rental rates might be different, and the lowest level selling price and the highest level selling price again will be different. That's why they will have very different ROIs. Although in the same building, right, they say this project makes money maybe until level 8 only, which means that upon level 9 and above, there will be a floor height premium. Every floor height, right, developer usually increase 2,000 or 5,000 per floor. That's why from level 9 and from level 19, right, the entry price can have maybe a 50,000 price in difference. And the rental actually will be the same. Unfortunately, like, will you pay extra 500 for a higher floor view? You won't, right? So tenants wise, you don't really look for things like this. But as a own stay person, if I'm staying myself, right, I would generally think that a higher view tends to have better, because the extra 50,000, right, per month is like extra 200 only in terms of installment. I pay because I'm staying there every single day, right? So I think that is the general feel of how you do research for one location only. Okay, and if you look into it, right, so what will generate the better returns will generally be the lower one, and the sub-sales. This is where I also explain, like, if you're planning to buy sub-sales and you have the capital to go for sub-sales, right, you can afford certainty because you make all the calculated risk here already. In this research, you know that, okay, this project maximum I can go for 6%. If I were to do, I will go for the lowest floor, smaller unit. Then I actually add another room inside. Then I do a makeover, I refurnish myself. Then the market price is this. already straight away I will know what's the rental rates around. Anjong Hijau, what's the rental rate? Skylux, what's the rental rates? Twin Arcs, what's the rental rates? Meaning in the same street, right, there are still some difference in the rental rates, mainly due to the facilities and mainly due to the views that they will get. However, it's still totally up to market dynamics, and with all those kind of research, it allows you to make very calculated risks, so you don't have to really guess. Like, that's why a lot of people, they ask me, hey, this property can buy, what do you think, right? Look at data. So that's why if you look into like areas like Wangsa Maju, right, they are like, the new properties is like maybe another 10,000-12,000 units that's coming up, and you benchmark against the rental rates, right, suddenly it won't make sense on. Like, if a studio is 450,000 per month, installment is around 2,003, right, but my rental rates is only 1,008, then does it make sense to invest? I don't think so. But if you want to buy for your own stay, you really like the location, by all means, if you can afford it, right? So that's the main difference between buying for own stay and investment, and I hope that this will actually help. And this is only for Bukit Jalil. We will repeat the same thing for Subang Jaya as well, and we will repeat the same thing for OUG and Old Klang Road area. So based on my 3 priority locations, right, I will actually do research the same way. So since I'm going for new properties, right, so it makes it very easy where I only go for new properties, so new launch, that's about it. But just that to get the rough estimation of the market value of the location, again, a high rise in Subang, what is the price per square feet? The high rise in Old Klang Road, what's the price per square feet in that area? So it's important to establish that median for respective locations, so you make sure that you don't get ripped off, or you can actually look for deals that way. Suddenly a desperate owner wants to release a unit, right, you will know immediately you can pick it up because it's below market rate. So moving on to the next episode, right, I've actually set up an appointment to go and check out Tropica in Bukit Jalil, right, and we will go and check out the show unit later. Like later, right now we're going out already, and do stay tuned. And what are the things that you will notice and things like that, because during MCO the standard operating procedures are different, and what is it like to view in these kind of areas, and what I will take note as well. My benefit in this research is I'm super familiar with generally most of Klang Valley itself lah. So all the celah, all the small roads also I've ventured before, and that's the main difference between a first-time home buyer versus an experienced one. So it's the amount of data. So I would suggest you to actually start from a location. Let's say I stay in Subang Jaya, then I just research around Subang Jaya first. If I stay in Cheras, right, then I just research Cheras first. Generally have a feel. Having all this knowledge, right, allows you to make better decisions, more informed decisions, and you won't be driven as much when you go to the sales gallery and after all the sales pitch, right, hey, just book now, this one cheap, you know, this one worth money, this one is lower than market value. What's the market value? You don't know. So it's really based on who is more certain about that topic. So that certainty, right, is really required before you go into sales gallery. And I really think that in the future, every one of us, right, I really encourage every one of us, before we go step into the sales gallery, we somewhat know already in that area before we actually put in a check. And there's no need to immediately book one. Really no need, unless you are super familiar. So I guess that's all for this episode. I'm heading out right now. Stay tuned for the next episode when we go and visit the site as well as the sales gallery, and we'll dissect more about the deals and what I'm going to do in comparison to the other locations. I guess that's all. Thank you very much for watching. Do share this around for your friends who is still also looking for home just like me and you. If you really like this video, like it, share it, and even subscribe for more information like this. Until next time, this is Sean Dan. Ciao.